Good morning, Dave Johnston here at Day Trade the Markets. We're looking at a 2-minute chart of the emini Nasdaq for Friday, November the 3rd, 2017. Just been filled long, 62.56 and a quarter. And I'll tell you why, is that you can see here that we had a higher opening this morning. This is where the open came in. This was the previous day's high here. So it came in here above yesterday's value, above yesterday's range, and sold off. And you can see it had some fairly aggressive selling, which is these red bars and light red bars. From here, we did attract a bit of buying. You can see a green bar here, another green bar here. Dark green is good aggressive buying. Not the strongest, but good aggressive buying. But it stalled in this area and came back down, made a slightly new low with very aggressive selling. As you can see here, just came inside yesterday's range just a little bit. This magenta bar is our most aggressive of all the selling bars. And you can see it had no follow through, and pretty soon its high was taken out. It kind of went back and forth, and then finally we had a really nice move up here after this probe into the top of this magenta. As a matter of fact, what I think I'll do is just mark a line in here, the top of this magenta bar, so we can use that as a reference. But you can see here that the market moved above it. When it came back below it, it formed a red selling bar, which is our second strongest aggressive selling bar. No follow through, it had its high taken out. When it came back down to test it in this time frame, it really got rejected very quickly, and that would be what we would call this as excess on the low of this bar as it tested back below the likely support area, which is the top of this magenta bar. And as you can see right after that, we had a really nice move higher, forming this high velocity move with a green bar, which is our second strongest aggressive buying bar. So the market has kind of hovered just above it. We did have one dip down here in a similar fashion to this dip down, leaving some excess and having its high taken out. We had just come down here again to test the base of that and decelerated and did not take out its low, and so that's why I got in long right there, and we're now long from 62.56 and a quarter. I am expecting, let me just, now that we see the lay of the land here, I'm just going to stretch this chart out a little bit more so we can see a little bit more detail. So what I'm expecting now, the next barrier here, we've actually been hitting it, is in this 59 area. So I'll just put a marker right around there at 59. So that's a barrier that we've had the past couple days. So I'm long from 56.25. So I'm anticipating that this 59 barrier is not going to hold. But what I will do in the meantime is I'll put a sell stop just below the bar that I got in. And the low of that bar is at 54. You can see it right here. So I'm going to go ahead and put the stop in at 53.50. Sell stop 53.50. So that's about a little less than 3-point risk on this trade. It is starting to move up. We're up to 58. I'm going to just stretch this a little bit more. And we're getting up to that 59 area. So I'm going to go ahead and sell 2 of these contracts. I'm going to try and go for 61. We're long from, I'm going to go with 61 and a quarter. That'll give us 5 points from the 56 and a quarter that we're long, and it will have moved above the 59 area. It may just probe there and then come back, so that's the reason I'm going ahead and putting that first objective in there for a 5-point profit. So it has moved up now. We've reached up to 59 and a half. We're long from 56.25. So you can see this next bar here too. So this is the bar we had the decel at the high, it took its high out. We had another one decel at the high, took its high out. So this bar here becomes my reference bar now. The low of that bar is right here at 56 and a quarter. So I'm going to raise my stop here to just below that, to 55.75, just a couple of ticks below it. We're long from 56 and a quarter, and our stop is now at 55.75. So we're only risking 2 ticks on this particular trade. So, and it's continuing to move up, so that looks good. That's the reason for the trade, how it got set up, why I took the trade, why I decided on the direction, and why I decided on the price, and how I'm managing the trade. So that's really it for the time being. We'll see if we can, I'll put a little marker in here, by the way, just at our, I'll make a couple of these little markers here. we'll put one here at our objective, and we'll put one here at our entry price so we know where we're at right now. I'll pause the recording and pick it up as the market dictates. Okay, just resuming the recording here. We just got filled at our first objective, so plus 5 points on the first two contracts, so 10 points total there. Now what we're going to do is go ahead and take a look at where, if we should make another adjustment on this stop. So I basically got it at break even at the moment. This particular bar that's forming right now is breaking above, and the low of that bar is at 59.25. So I'm going to raise the stop to 58.25 for right now. 58.25, we're long from 56.25. So that's where we're at the moment, and I'll take this marker here and I'll just move that up to the 58.25 price. I should also still put a marker in here for where we're long from 56.25. So that's the lay of the land at the moment. Things are looking good, and once again I'll pause the recording. Oh, I'm sorry, I need to make this just 2 contracts, don't I? Because we started with 4 and we sold 2 at our first objective, so we just have 2 left, so make that adjustment there. So I'll pause the recording and pick it up as the market dictates. Okay, just want to resume the recording. The market did dip down. We got lucky. You can see here that the market came within just a tick of our stop, so you got to consider that somewhat lucky. But we did have a good reason for placing it at that price, and so it's worked out well, and the market has popped back up here. So just want to bring you up to date on that, and it looks like we can continue to move above that 59 area. So once again, I'll pause the recording and pick it up when need be. Okay, just bringing you up to date on this trade. We are continuing to see additional up movement with some aggressive buying bars. We've got a green bar right here. So the low of this bar here is at 62.25. I'm going to bring the stop up to 61.25. There we go. And we're locked from 56.25. So that'll lock in. That'll lock in 5 points, just like we had on our first objective. So that's good. I'll just move that marker up there too. So just want to bring you up to date on that. And once again, I'll pause the recording and pick it up as the market dictates. Okay, just resuming the recording. We did have what ended up being a nice high velocity buying move here with the green bar, so that's continuing to show bullishness. We've had a bit of a dip here and then another bounce. So this dip got us down to looks like about 66.50. So I'm going to raise the stop to 65.50. There we go. And we're long from 56. It's about a 9-point profit that we've locked in on the second 2 contracts. So anyway, just wanted to bring you up to date on that, and I need to move this marker as well. So hopefully this guy is going to keep moving higher. So that's it for the moment. I will once again pause the recording. Okay, another update here. We have had more up movement. You can see it did dip down here and decelerate, so I'm going to use that as a reference to adjust the next stop. The low of that bar is at 70.75 right here, so I'm going to bring the stop up to 69.75. There we go, right there. So that locks in about 13 and a half points. So just wanted to bring you up to date on that, and I should move this marker here as well. Okay, thanks. I'll pause the recording. Okay, just bringing the recording up to date. We just got stopped here. 13 and a half points on that second half of the position, and 5 points on the first half, so 18. Well, actually, total of 10 points for the first 2, and a total of 26, 27 points. So 37 points total. Worked out quite nicely. But just as a quick recap, it was a market we were looking to buy with the higher open, and then with the heavy selling here, but heavy selling that overlapped. In other words, didn't really cover a lot of territory, just came down within yesterday's high. We had a bounce here with some good buying, but couldn't really muster up the strength to continue and have much follow through. We came down one more time, and this time when we came down, we were rejected with this really nice magenta selling bar that had no follow through. And of course, one of our best trades is when we have very aggressive selling, whether it's with a high velocity move or one of our most aggressive selling bars, in this case magenta bar, which is our most aggressive selling bar, if it has absolutely no follow through and then its high gets taken out, starts to trade above it, that becomes an area of support. And when it was tested here with this red bar that dipped below it, immediately turned around, went above it, came back down one more time, left really good excess on this one, and formed this high velocity move. And that's why we're able to get long over in here after we had one final dip, as it turned out, and then got long off of that D cell. Went through our barrier, which was this blue line right here around the 59 area from the previous days, and it had a good movement higher, so we were able to hold on to that trade for a nice profit. So thanks so much for watching. If you have any questions, you can reach us at info@daytradethemarkets.com. Thanks, and we'll see you next time.